If Earth suddenly lost gravity for just 10 seconds, the event would unfold far faster and far more violently than most people imagine, because gravity is not only what keeps us standing on the ground, but what anchors every system that makes life possible. The moment gravity vanished, nothing would float peacefully. Instead, the planet's rotation would take over, hurling everything not firmly enclosed upward at immense horizontal speed, especially near the equator where Earth spins at over 1,600 kilometers per hour. People outdoors would be launched into the air instantly. Cars would lift off roads, loose objects would become lethal projectiles, and inside buildings, people would slam into ceilings, walls, and fixtures with bone-breaking force. Elevators would fail mid-air, construction cranes would twist uncontrollably, and aircraft would lose all aerodynamic reference, sending planes into uncontrolled trajectories. As the seconds passed, the effects would scale catastrophically. Oceans would begin peeling away from their basins, massive sheets of water lifting skyward, rivers tearing free from their banks, and clouds dispersing upward as the atmosphere itself started to thin and drift away from the planet. Satellites and space stations, no longer bound by predictable gravity, would drift out of alignment, crippling GPS, communications, and global monitoring systems in an instant, while power grids would shut down as transmission lines snapped and generators destabilized. Animals would panic, ecosystems would be violently disrupted, and millions of people would already be injured or dead before gravity even had a chance to return. Then, without warning, gravity would snap back on, and this is where the true devastation would occur, as everything that had been lifted would fall at once. People would plummet back to Earth from dozens or even hundreds of meters in the air. Oceans would slam back into place with continent-scale force, generating mega tsunamis that would race across coastlines, and buildings would shatter as water, debris, and bodies crashed down simultaneously. Skyscraper windows would explode from pressure changes, bridges would collapse under sudden stress, and cities near coasts would be swallowed by walls of returning water. Airports would be littered with wreckage, highways would be unrecognizable, and emergency services would be instantly overwhelmed, unable to reach most of the injured due to destroyed infrastructure. But the damage would not end there, because gravity returning would not neatly reset the planet to its previous state. Earth's rotation would be slightly altered, tectonic plates would be destabilized by the sudden redistribution of mass, and fault lines already under stress could rupture hours or days later, triggering massive earthquakes and volcanic eruptions. Weather systems would spiral into chaos as atmospheric layers struggled to resettle, causing violent storms, extreme temperature swings, and long-term climate disruption. Governments would declare global emergencies, borders would close, economies would collapse overnight, and financial systems would freeze as communication networks failed and uncertainty spread. Religion and philosophy would surge as people searched for meaning, while scientists would scramble in fear, not celebration, because the most terrifying question would remain unanswered. If gravity could disappear once, even briefly, what mechanism allowed it to happen, and what prevents it from happening again? Trust in the stability of reality itself would be broken. Space exploration would halt, long-term infrastructure planning would become nearly impossible, and humanity would live under the constant fear that next time, gravity might not return after 10 seconds, or 30, or at all. In that scenario, Earth would not slowly decline or adapt. It would unravel rapidly, stripped of oceans, atmosphere, and life, becoming just another silent rock drifting through space, proving that civilization is not destroyed by dramatic wars or monsters, but by the sudden failure of the invisible forces we never question, until they're gone.